everyone, it's Celine again, and today I would love to introduce you to a good friend of mine and co-founder of ChattyCanadians Instagram account. This is Mel.
Hi, everyone.
So today we're going to be speaking to Mel about her motivation for starting this Instagram account, where she finds her inspiration and how she engages learners of English. So Mel, can you tell everyone a bit about your background in ESL?
Sure, Celine. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here on the TESL Ontario YouTube platform. A bit about myself. Where do I even start? So I've been teaching ESL since 2013, and I've taught to a wide range of age groups from both children and adults. Um, and I've always just wanted to be an educator. Um, my mom was a teacher before she immigrated to Canada, and I also had the privilege of being taught by such great teachers from elementary to university. So it's always something that I wanted to do. And in terms of my background and qualifications with ESL, I've acquired my BA from U of T in English and Linguistics. So I've always had an interest in how languages work and function. And shortly after doing that, I got my TESL certificate. Um, and after getting my TESL certificate, I was able to teach for the first time in Toronto. And that was one of the experiences that really opened my eyes and kind of reaffirmed why I love teaching so much. Um, I finally got to use what I learned and apply it to an actual classroom. Um, and yeah, you know how the ESL industry is. Sometimes there's not many students coming in, so I ended up going to Korea, and that's when I taught children for the first time. And it's such a different shift from teaching children and adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it made me think a lot. Like, how do I be a good teacher? So that's why I only spent a year there, and then I ended up coming back to Canada and finishing my master's in applied linguistics. I can't talk. Finishing my master's in applied linguistics TESL, and yeah, it just went from there. I just love teaching, and I just want to keep doing it for the rest of my life. And with ChattyCanadians, I run this account with a friend of mine. She's a Japanese advisor, and she's been living in Canada for 8 years, and she has 5 years of experience advising and counseling international ESL students. So she's a great asset to the team.
Yeah, I think that combination of your experience here in Canada at like private schools and abroad, as well as the co-founder, I think that really makes ChattyCanadians what it is in its unique form. So obviously, I'm a huge fan of
Oh,
this
thank
account,
you, thank you.
and I love it because like there's such a diversity in posts. Like you
Mm,
took a picture of an egg advertisement
right.
and you kind of broke it down. And I think that's great because like this is something that if a learner is coming to Canada, they're exposed to English everywhere, right? But
Mhm,
they're not picking up on the English in advertisements or the nuances or the meaning of what's around them.
mhm.
But then again, you have like really cute posts with your little memojis.
Thank
Um,
you.
and, and it kind of just like, it really like speaks to people, I think. Like you're giving students and learners practical ways to
Mhm,
say no, right? Like I use
mhm.
I'd rather not and
Yeah,
and nah all the time. So
yeah.
I think it's hilarious and I think it's quite useful for students, whether they be in Canada or like internationally.
Mhm.
So what made you shift from this kind of career in teaching to starting this account?
So thank you so much for your comments. We kind of wanted to create a balance between the posts showing realia, and
Hmm.
showing how English is actually used in context.
Hmm.
So talking about going into how we started the account, we wanted to create a community online for our students because wanted to make them feel comfortable with learning English. And we wanted to cater, like as you said, to students studying in Canada and those who actually had plans to come to Canada. So that's what kind of inspired us to start the account. Yeah, and also I like when we first created this Instagram page, I didn't realize that there's already a really present English teacher and learner community on there. So it's actually quite big. And I noticed that it's mostly focused on the difference between British English and American English. And I thought like, oh, this would be a good opportunity to, showcase like how English is used in the Canadian context. So that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, and I think that that is kind of what was missing in this really niche market. Like, I follow a lot of these accounts myself, and a lot of them are targeted at learners, but kind of a phrase of the day or something like that without like this engaging, like interactive context. And like you said, mostly are US based or UK based. So I don't really think that Canadians are kind of on the scene as much. So it's awesome that you found this like gap and you kind of capitalized on it.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, so it's basically from our students.
Okay.
And yeah, just to be honest, we just really, I guess as teachers, we really want to help people. It's in our nature, right? So our students are a big inspiration for this page. And, working with international students, I've had the opportunity to speak to them, and, they've shared with me their struggles and how they felt coming into Canada, adjusting in Canada. And the Japanese advisor I work with as well, she guides and counsels Japanese international ESL students. So she's also had the opportunity to listen to what they have to say. And not only for Japanese learners, but even for students who come from places that are non-English speaking countries, or where they learn English in a more teacher-centered environment, right? So those learners, they have the struggles of speaking, right? Maybe their grammar is perfect and they're good in the other aspects of English, but when it comes to speaking, they kind of hesitate or feel kind of shy to express themselves. So I think that's one of the biggest inspiration behind this account, is to help those learners in particular.
Awesome. So would you say that that's your favorite part of this experience?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it was so fun to watch the account grow from, 0 to 40 to now, I believe now we're at, 894. So it's just been amazing. And the community is so supportive. And you can see like from our first post, we posted, what is Chatty? And we asked our followers to comment, where are you from? And we had an overwhelming response. I think that's so exciting to build a community. Yeah, and I think I took some notes here.
That's fine.
Creating valuable content students can use is really exciting for us. I feel like as a teacher, I didn't really get to nurture that creative side. So
Yeah.
making these posts with the Bitmojis, I learned a lot of new skills, like how to use Canva, for instance. Yeah, and editing videos. So yeah, that's like that's my favorite part about running this account.
I think that's awesome because I do remember teaching with you, and I have like a distinct memory of you cutting up things for like activities and creative things for your students. So it's obviously you can't do that during the situation now. So you
Yeah.
really were able to kind of pivot and transfer your skills into something that's reaching more people than you would have just in that one classroom. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, but on the other side, what do you think are some challenges of running an Instagram page?
Yeah, I had some time to think about this. So
Okay.
yeah, well, first of all, like we started this account in August of 2020.
Hmm.
And before that, we already had our own personal Instagram account. So we kind of knew how Instagram works in terms of like, how to post something, how to make a
Mhm.
story. But I think the hardest part is shifting to a business
Okay.
account and a business mindset. So first, to talk about the business aspect of Instagram,
Hmm.
it can be a little bit difficult to figure out how the algorithm works, what hashtags work best when you want to reach out to the specific people that you want to help, right? And also, like best times to post, for example. But despite all these challenges, there are a lot of resources online that people can look into and research if they want help with any of these problems. And I guess another big one is that when you're on social media, you're on social media. So like I find myself like
Yeah.
constantly like on my phone.
Yeah.
One time I think my screen time went to like 10 hours because I was trying to like
Wow.
engage with people on
Hmm.
Instagram, just try to be present and show that we're
Hmm.
active in the community. So I think that's like one of the hardest things, like adjusting to being on social media. So yeah, those two I
Yeah.
think are challenging.
Definitely. And what you said about what time to post and stuff, just at that level, like your followers are from all over the world. So
Yeah,
what's best in North America time isn't going to be what's best in Japan or in different places like that. So it must be really like challenging to figure out, but I'm sure that it comes with time.
for sure.
So you said that people could look on the internet for some advice, but do you have any advice for someone that wants to start their own Instagram account?
Sure. Well, for me personally, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I am fortunate to have that kind of support and advice from my family. But like I've been watching a lot of mindset videos and coaches online, and a lot of them just say the same thing: is if you want to start something, you just got to start. And you just got to do it. And I think that's
Yeah.
kind of how Chatty Canadians started. Like we felt that we wanted to contribute to this industry in some way, so we
Hmm.
just kind of started. And to follow up with that is it's good to have a plan of action. So um, like after starting something, kind of think about how you're going to execute what you
Hmm.
want to achieve. So that really helped us. We use Google Docs a lot to plan all our
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, and like actually these posts are scheduled,
Mm.
and like for each day that we post, it's already ready on a calendar. So if anyone's planning to start an Instagram, I would recommend building a content calendar, just so that you're not overwhelmed with oh, what am I going to post today? Like, I have no idea. So at least if you have a calendar, you can see like, oh, I'm going to post this on Monday, this on Tuesday, and it really helps. And like one more thing to add is regarding to mindset. So a lot of us teachers, we don't really think about the business side of ESL,
Yeah.
right? So I think for me, I had to kind of bring myself into that mindset. And what really helped was making vision boards.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you have a vision board, you can see your what you want to achieve in front of you, and you can even see it happening. You can like track your progress. And my partner in CC, she uses journals to track her progress. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That's something that you don't really think about. Like when you turn Instagram into a business, you can schedule posts and you can have your content all laid out. It's not like you're constantly updating it.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
awesome.
Hmm.
So I've seen that you did a live recently,
Hmm.
and I see that you're trying to branch out and do different things. So what's next for Chatty Canadians?
That's a really big question, Celine. So it's honestly like uh, we just want to build our community and engage more with our students. That's the biggest goal for us. Um, I'm not really sure like where CC is going to take us, but we just want to be able to help more people and make a difference within the community. And from what I'm seeing now in our current situation, the future of the ESL industry seems to be heading in an online direction.
Yeah.
Um, so I think now is a great opportunity for a lot of teachers if they are willing to adapt and if they really have the passion to reach more people. I think online is the way to go nowadays.
Hmm.
So I really recommend it. If you want to start, you should just go ahead and start.
Awesome advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Mel. I hope that this was helpful to everyone. If you have any questions for Chatty Canadians, feel free to send them a DM on Instagram or leave a comment below, and we will see you in our next video. Thanks, Mel.
Thanks, Celine.